What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk to you guys about Warhammer 40k. In this video, it's going to be all about the brand spanking new video game coming out in just a few short months. Or at least I'm hoping it's just a few short months, because that video game is none other than Warhammer 40k Darktide. Now, ever since that teaser trailer that came out a few weeks ago, I've kept my eye on this little gem because it looked amazing. To me, that teaser trailer reminded me of a horror game in the 40k setting. Something similar to like Dark Space, but with the new official trailer reveal that we got just a few days ago, it is something else entirely. So without further ado, guys, let's dive right into everything we know about Warhammer 40k Darktide. So Darktide is a new game that will be coming to PC and Xbox next year. Yes, it sucks. As far as I know, it's not officially been stated to come out for the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 5. Strictly PC via stream and Xbox Series X and S. So unfortunately, all you PlayStation players will have to wait to see if your hopes get answered, mine included, because I don't really play on PC and I don't have an Xbox, so unfortunately this will be a game that I have to sit out on unless we get some changes. But anyway, the release date for this game isn't out yet. It's rumored to be coming out 2021, but that's a whole year. It could be spring, summer, winter, fall, etc. We don't know yet, but it is coming out next year, unless it gets pushed back, because, of course, Nurgle and COVID. But anyway, it's developed by Fat Shark, which is the same creators of Warhammer Vermintide. So if you guys are familiar with Vermintide and Vermintide 2, this is from the same guys that brought you that game, and as far as I know, it's a pretty positive game, at least from what I've heard from people who have played it. It seems to tie in the lore of Warhammer pretty well into the gaming mechanics, and it looks to be a better, new improved version of Vermintide, but set in the grimdark setting of Warhammer 40k. Now, as you can see, it's a 4-player co-op action game where you face hordes of enemies within the hive city of Tertium, which is upon the world of Atoma Prime. So we already got the setting, and we've got the characters that we'll be playing, as well as the characters that are going to be the enemies. So, just like Vermintide, it's going to be waves and waves of enemies coming at you, and you and either your AI friends or actual human players can join with you, and you can take on the hordes of enemies that are to come. So, you're able to play as a hulking Ogren. Another character that seems to be an acolyte of the Inquisition, perhaps. Then there's like a regular looking guardsman, and then maybe like a higher ranking guardsman, like an officer of some sorts. Now these are just the first 4 that we saw, but it may change, we might get DLC, but for the most part, I like it. It seems to be like a pretty diverse crew. You've got the tank as the Ogren, you've got just a regular shooter with the guardsman. The acolyte could be some sort of healer, maybe. And then you've got like the officer, which could be just giving buffs to your players. I'm not exactly sure if that's what it's going to be, but I just did a video on the armies of the Imperium, everything minus Space Marines, and there are tons of options that Fat Shark can use to add in additional characters to the roster, such as Psychers. You could have the Adeptus Mechanicus and the Skitarii. The Sisters of Battle can even be playable, perhaps. So we just have to wait and see exactly what the roster is, what new additions will be in there, and what exactly each individual character has as like strengths and weaknesses. As for the enemies that we're going to be facing, we've got Chaos Cultists, Traitor Guard, Poxwalkers, some type of like mutated dogs, and at the end of the trailer, we can even see what appears to be a Plaguebearer. So just right then and there, I love it. These enemies are all Nurgified in some shape, way, or form, and they just look so intimidating, so badass looking. Poxwalkers, which look kind of goofy in the tabletop, really look devastatingly horrific. They look, how do I put it? Disgustingly resilient. You see what I did there, guys? But anyway, I love the enemies. You've got, like I said, cultists, or whether they're traitor guard, but they're going to be essentially guardsmen that are able to fire las guns at you, las pistols and the sort. And I'm assuming the poxwalkers are going to be all close combat orientated. Same things with like the dogs. They're going to be quick enemies that you're going to have to take down. And then that's when we come to the Plaguebearers. Within the games of Vermintide, you have hordes and hordes of like minor enemies, and then every once in a while you get sprinkled in bigger enemies, and then mini bosses and bosses, etc. So I can't wait to see what potential Plague Marines, Nurgle Demons, Great Unclean Ones we'll be able to see in the later portions of the game. And I don't know if it's all going to be straight Nurgle, or if maybe we'll see more of a demonic incursion, or Chaos Space Marines brought into the mix. But again, like, we don't even know exactly what this game has to offer just yet. We've only been given little inklings of lore, of gameplay, and I'm liking it so far. And speaking about gameplay, it looks just like Vermintide, but if you're not familiar to Vermintide, think Left 4 Dead. You've got hordes of enemies, and like I said earlier, you've got harder enemies sprinkled in. But overall, like, if you look at the trailer that I've got down in the description, the trailer is amazing. Like, it really nails down the grimdark aesthetic. It's dark, it's spooky looking. This is definitely not Warhammer Adventures. There's no vibrancy, there's no things that appeal to like children in that cases, because you got like blood and pus, and like, it's really, really cool. Like, in my opinion, they really nailed the 40k aesthetic. Like, if you look at this game, it breathes, it oozes out 40k, and it's cool. I really, really do like that. Like, the graphics look intense. It looks amazing so far. Like, yeah, we've only seen a little bit of the game, but from what we've seen so far, I'm super, super stoked for it. But again, go ahead and check out the jaw-dropping trailer. Watch it once, watch it twice, show all your friends, because this is really, really good. Now, before I end the video, I do want to take a look at the weapons that we do see in the trailer, because there are quite a few. So from the opening visual, where we see the 4 playable characters, we can see that the Acolyte, I'm assuming that's what it is, has a thunder hammer, or at least some type of hammer weapon, because you can see in the trailer she's using it, and not every time do you see like an explosion of energy. Sometimes she's literally just hacking away with a freaking hammer. Now for the Ogryn, you see a combat knife, and he's just going to town with this knife. Very simple, but in the hands of an Ogryn, it's doing a lot. And then in the officer, the Imperial Guardsman officer, looks like they've got a power sword. And then finally, for the regular Guardsman, maybe it's just like a las pistol, a las rifle, some type of shooting weapon. And we see all this in epic teasing trailer, and then we do get the iconic chainsword being used, so there's no fear there. The chainsword, the iconic melee weapon of 40k, of course is going to be playable. I mean, why wouldn't it be? And then near the end of the trailer, they showcase ranged weapons. We get a grenade launcher, we get I think it's a shotgun maybe, we get some type of assault burst rifle, a las gun, a sniper rifle, and of course grenades. So this game looks to be a ton of fun. Quite a variety of 40k centered weapons that we get to use, and I'm pretty sure that's not all. Like, we still got maybe power axes, more heavy weaponry. Probably as the game progresses, we can improve the weapons we have, adding scopes, adding larger magazine clips and whatnot. So I'm liking it. Everything I see, I really, really enjoy. But that's just my opinion. I want to know what you guys have to say on the trailer, and overall your thoughts on Warhammer 40k Darktide. Again, guys, check out the link in the description box below so you guys can see it, and then come back over here and let me know what you thought in the comment section. And that's all I got for today. A lot of things to look forward to, and yeah, that's it. This has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I will be catching you guys in the next one. Peace.